Hi, everybody. It's Crystal here from Fat Product Review. So excited to have you all here today. If you love my stuff, please hit the subscribe button. That way you get notified whenever we have new videos. And I'm so thrilled and honored to have Saucy West, Miss Saucy West here today with us. Plus size model and fat activist extraordinaire. Hashtag fat and free is her movement. And thank you. Welcome to my show, Saucy.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Saucy and I have known each other probably like 5 or 6 years when her lovely friend Tigress introduced us and said, "This woman needs to be in your fashion show." And I was like, "Yes, she does." Because, yeah, Saucy can strike a pose all day long.
Yes, I can hold it.
You own it. That's what I love. Yeah, so amazing. I know that you love to model, and I know sometimes it's more difficult to find plus size modeling gigs when you're plus size, and then when you add on the top of that you're also black, and you're not like in the white thin body positive influencer mode because you're not white. But tell us, what are you thinking about your career, your modeling career? What are you gonna do next, and what are you hoping to do next, and how are you hoping to like break through those barriers and get rid of all that stigma around always having to have, the Barbie doll, plus size Barbie doll, hourglass look. It's so boring.
Yes. I'm still currently, struggling with that battle and dealing with that type of thing. I think now, as I'm approaching 40, I think that my modeling is just in a very different place now. I feel like I have done this for so long that I don't have to kind of make my way into the inner circle anymore. I
Yeah.
think when I first started modeling, that's what I was trying to do a lot. I was trying to appease my white counterparts. I was trying to be able to sit at their table,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that a lot of women of color, Black women in the modeling industry, we do struggle to do that because a lot of the faces of plus modeling are white faces. So I think that at this point in my career, I want to just create my own lane.
Hmm.
I want um, the younger people that are coming behind me in this industry to see that they can also create their own lanes as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm now focusing on more of the business aspect of just trying to work with brands. Like my goal is to be a consultant for these brands.
Uh,
If they don't know how to properly market extended plus sizes above a size 26, I want to be that person, that resource for them. Um,
Plus size people like to say that they're inclusive plus size designers, and they stop at a 24. And like, that's not inclusive. I don't. Where does your like? What does that even? Where does that come from? Like, that's not even close to being
Not
inclusive.
at all. Not at all. So, I also want to continue to call out those brands that are claiming
Love
inclusivity,
it.
but they're not
Love
really.
it. I'm like, yes.
So, I'm not afraid of it. And I think that um, if more plus size influencers uh, brought in activism in their branding, that we can create a lot more movement in that as well. I think a
You
lot of
know,
times they want to constantly be like, I want to work with this brand so bad. I don't care if they're inclusive or not.
I know this. It's like there's so much scarcity out there, right? There's such a scarcity mentality. Because one thing I have seen shift in the fat activist arena is where I see now a lot of more well-known white fat activists now when they're getting a lot of like media calls and stuff. I see them trying to take a step back, and us white people, we like to center ourselves. It's
Mm-hmm.
just one of our things. And I see that a lot of these white fat activists are now trying to push out these opportunities to other people besides other white fat activists. And I think, why can't that happen in the modeling world? Why can't you be a person who's like, you get all of the deals and be like, you know what, I have this friend who's a size 28, 30, and she's black, and I think this you should give this opportunity to her. Like, but I know they're all like they just feel like they want it, they need it, so they get really like they just hold it so tight and they don't want to give it up.
Because I think that politics still plays a big game in that. It
Mm,
plays a big part in that. Still, that yeah, they're gonna give it to someone else, but it's gonna be that person that's still palatable to
yeah,
people. This they're still very socially acceptable,
right.
and
They're good fatties, right?
they're good fatties. They're racially ambiguous. They still have flat stomachs. You know, it's still that we're gonna follow the protocol on this instead of going outside the parameters of what's
right.
considered beautiful, and making sure that those people also get represented.
Yeah, and get gigs. Which brands are doing it really well right now for people? I'm a size 28, 30, so I'm very interested for myself, but like what brands are doing a good job right now of making sure there's representation in their models, but also that they have clothes beyond a size 28? Not, none.
Unfortunately, none.
Shit. Mm,
None. I mean, I think that unfortunately it's not a priority because the influencers aren't making it a priority.
yeah.
And I'm
Hmm.
talking about the big influencers.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm talking about the people who are over 100K. You know,
Yeah.
I think that again, they don't care. They're people will still sit up here and you know wear their Savage Fenty, wear their Good American, wear their Fashion Nova, wear their whatever brand, Pretty Little Thing. They'll wear those brands, but they are not asking questions when it comes to those brands. They're not saying, hey, I've been an influencer for you for X amount of time.
Right.
I'm bringing in quite a substantial bit of money to you because my followers are seeing these clothes on me and they're buying these clothes.
Right.
But my followers are also 4X, 5X, 6X. When can we start, you know, doing this for these other people, for
Right.
these bigger sizes?
Mm,
There's never that conversation that happens with these influencers.
yeah.
And they hold so much power.
I know.
Like if I had if I had 500,000 followers, I don't think nobody would understand how much I will be talking to these brands.
Right.
And even because I do it now. I do it now. I'm
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
like, what are your intentions with expanding sizes? I ask that question. If they give me a bogus answer, I'm not working with you.
I think maybe that's where the difference is, right? Those other people go, oh, I'll ask the difficult questions, but if I get a half-assed answer, I'm still going to work with them anyway, right? And maybe they don't even ask the questions at all.
Yeah. And it's very disappointing because it's a lot of the people who we really like look up to and really admire who've been in this industry for a very long time. And they're just not trying to like help us, basically. It's
Yeah,
like they're not trying to help us. They're just like continuing to be like, well, if it's me, you know?
and I noticed that the same three or four that we see all the time, they also have a lot of the good fatty things, right? They're like they're seen working out and they're seen in the bikini, but they're on the beach and they're exercising, like they're still trying to keep up that good fatty. Do you feel like explaining to everybody what good fatty, bad fatty means?
So a good fatty is um again, they're socially acceptable still. That means that they have either a pear or an hourglass shape. Their stomachs are flat, or if they're not completely flat, they have a little bit of a pooch. Um, they they are on their social media talking about um, you know I'm healthy.
Yeah.
I'm this size, but I'm healthy, and um, like you were saying, showing themselves working out so that people can. I mean, it's a really um, undertone
Performance.
of it's an undertone of internalized fat phobia that goes
Oh
with
yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
it. Is a layer of diet culture that goes with that,
Mm-hmm.
and then they top that off with body positivity.
Yes. Right.
And I tweeted last week. I said some people's fat phobia is so internalized they think it's body positivity. And that's what a good fatty is. A good
Yeah.
fatty is so deep in their fat phobia that they consider it body positivity
Right.
to let people know I'm still healthy, to let, to still be socially acceptable, to still be,
Yep.
you know, you can look at me, like if I can do it, you can do it too.
Sure. Yeah. 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 It gets so old. So you and I believe both subscribe to the idea of fat liberation and fat acceptance, not body positivity. Body positivity is fine and all, but so watered down and so
Been convoluted. It has been,
yeah.
yeah, and body positivity, and people still don't know this is the child of fat activism, is the child of fat liberation.
I,
So, which means that these movements were made and created by women of color,
yeah.
and these women of color aren't seen. If you look at the history of fat activism and fat liberation, you see white people, white faces, and that's not who it is. So it's the same thing for body positivity now.
Yeah.
You don't see black people
It's very whitewashed, very whitewashed. It's, yeah. No,
and
no people of color really at all that I can.
people of color at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
very
tell us what your hashtag fat and free means to you. Why did you start it?
fat and free is something that is obtainable. It's something that is um, is actionable.
I like
It
action.
is, um, and I think that people fear freedom.
Oh yeah.
So, and especially when you're fat, because you're always told that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You
You'll
always,
never find a husband because we all just want a husband.
yeah, we all just want somebody, right? But when when I decided to use the hashtag, it was because I was second guessing myself when it came to me posting something on my social media.
Hmm.
Now, everyone knows I've been naked. I have done lingerie.
Lingerie.
I've done everything. But for some reason, it was something that I was like, well, should I post this? And I was like, I'm posting this. I
Good.
don't care.
Good.
And I put the hashtag on it. And then when, in 2017, that's when, I did the campaign.
Yeah.
I was like, I want everyone to live fat and free without apology.
Yep.
That's what it was.
Unapologetically.
And so now the hashtag has been used, I think it's over 40,000
There.
times on social media. So now people have a really good reference point of what fat freedom looks like.
Right.
And that was my point.
People are scared shitless of fat women who have stopped dieting, who have forsaken all dieting, all diet culture, and are just living and eating whatever they want and not, trying to figure out what can I substitute this for that. It scares the crap out of them. They don't know. And then if you're having a good time and you're having great sex and you have relationships and you're like present and you're living your life, oh man, that pisses them off so bad. Why though? Why, Saucy? Why do they care? It's frightening to
They care because it's like, how dare they?
them. How
How
dare you live your life and have fun?
dare you show these parts of your body that I feel are nasty or disgusting.
Right.
are like, like how dare you expose your belly? How dare
Oh
you?
yeah.
And again, that's fat phobia. It's fat phobia. That's
You
all it
remember that one girl that wrote "fuck you" on her double chin right there? I was like, praise.
is.
You couldn't see it till she undid her folds, and I was like, oh, I love you.
And I think that's why people care, is because we have subscribed to this image of what is beautiful in this world. And what people don't understand is that we're all made very specifically. And, I'm not going to get religified up in here, but I believe that God doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah,
And I believe that we're born perfect.
we are
People
absolutely.
always question me with that. I've had activists question me when I say that, because again, that is them working through their own internalized fat
Yeah,
phobia,
for
which
sure,
is
for
okay.
sure.
Which is okay. I don't have a
Yeah,
problem
yeah,
with
sure.
that.
Gotta
But
meet people where they are, but yeah, it just I guess people like to be the diet is like a sense of control for them, maybe.
it is. It is. It's and but we are perfect.
Yeah, of
We are perfect
course, yeah.
exactly the way we are.
And we all deserve respect, dignity, and love, just like anybody else. And yeah, it's of course we're perfect. And I know you get trolled a lot. I get trolled a lot, and I always think it's funny when people call me fatty, fat, fat, or they call me a land whale, or they call me a hippo, or they call me Barney, which I love. And I think, well, whales are beautiful.
Whales are dope.
Right, hippos are
Whales,
gorgeous. Yeah, right. That's not an insult, really. That's like, and Barney?
okay. I'm
No,
like,
everybody
oh
loves Barney.
my God. Like people think that must hurt you. Like I need you to understand. I have been walking my walk since I was 14 years old.
I remember you saying that
It
before.
has just been elevated.
Right. Yeah.
So I am the fat person who really just doesn't give a damn about what you say about me. I don't know if I can cuss or not, but I'm like, I don't.
You can cuss. 'Cause I don't give a fuck either.
Like I don't give a fuck. Like I
I don't
don't
either. No.
care. Like I need people to understand that I have went through my own struggles when it comes to this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I, at 14 years old, who survived having an eating disorder, who survived being a cutter, who survived, suicide attempts,
Yeah.
went through all of that, and you think you can affect me by saying
I know.
something about me?
Right.
No.
My thing is if I don't love you, I don't give a shit what you think about me. So random people that walk by on the street and call me a fat ass or whatever, like, huh, okay, yeah. No shit, I have a fat ass. That's obvious to everybody.
Or it's like, you know what? But what I really hate is like those people I really don't care about. What I have an issue with is my own people in my own community that are like, oh, I wouldn't do that, and I'm,
Mm,
or, um, well, as long as she's healthy,
yeah.
like people who, big like me, like questioning me. That's when I got to start talking mess because I'm just like, wait a minute.
Yes, I love when people are so concerned about my health, they don't even know me. I'm like, you don't know shit about my
They
health, so
don't know nothing.
get
And I'm
away from you.
like, even if something was wrong with me,
Doesn't
it
matter.
ain't none of your business.
I don't owe good health to anybody. So how do you, because I know you have a beautiful daughter, Blythe. How old is she?
8.
Okay, so we all know people start getting messages about body size and diets and stuff from a really young age. How do you get her to not take in those messages and just feel the way you feel about, so maybe your daughter can avoid what you and I probably had to go through, which was like 10 years or 15 years of questioning and until we got to this point where we don't give a fuck anymore what people have to think. How do you like I have praise to you because I mean, being a parent right now with all the social media and all these messages, I don't know how you guys do it. Really
Uh,
don't.
Life don't know nothing about that.
Good.
And so that and then when she is able to experience that, if she ever experiences that, because I think the beautiful thing about the generations that are coming up is that there's going to be so much more acceptability.
I have so much hope for our future if we can get through this next.
Yeah. So with Blythe, Blythe is basically exactly how I was when I was her age. I was the tallest in school. I was the biggest in school.
First to get boobs in school.
Yeah, she got her little boob-a-doobs, like she was going through the same things. So, but Blythe is confident as hell. Okay, like I need people to understand. My child is more confident than a lot of grown ass women are.
I've seen her posts on Facebook. I'm like, oh, girl, she's got it.
So Blythe knows that she's beautiful. Blythe
Is.
knows that she's bigger than other people are too.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to school, and some of her friends are like, "Man, Blythe is so big. Like she's tall and she's
You're tall, right?
Yeah, I'm 5'11", so Blythe is going to be tall, and I have to tell her friends too. I'm like, yeah, but that's also really beautiful too, right? And they're like, yeah, Blythe is so beautiful, and I'm like, yeah, she is, and so are you. So it's like I use that as teachable moments when I'm at her school with her, was on the playground with her, walking her to her, and getting in line, and her friends would see her coming, and Blythe would just be dressed, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, Blythe is so pretty! Oh my God!" And Blythe would be like, "Thank you!" Like, and so Blythe will know about what fat phobia is. She will experience discrimination.
Yeah.
She will experience discrimination as well because she's autistic.
Mm-hmm.
So she has more than one intersect, 2 intersects, 3 intersects that she will deal with in her life.
Yeah.
More than me, But I am raising her to be strong. I am raising her to, oh yeah, that's
her. Is that her voice for hearing?
Yes.
I love it.
Roblox.
I've seen her pictures on Facebook, and I've seen her poses and her fashion. I can see she has her fashion sense. And she also knows she knows her angles too. I see.
Oh yeah, she knows how to give you face.
Saucy, have you ever had an experience where someone, like a random stranger, like a kid in a grocery store or the mall, will say, like, "How come your tummy's so fat?" or "Why are you so big?" Have you ever had any experience like that?
Yeah, I have. And I think the last time it happened, I think I was pregnant.
Oh yeah.
I think I was pregnant, and I had a little boy who was with his mom, and he was like, no, it was a girl. She was like, ew, she's so big, mommy, she's so big. Wow. And her mom was like in shock, like
her mom should be.
So, I said to her, I was like, fat people aren't nasty. I was like, we can be beautiful too. I was like, but I have a baby in my belly.
Right.
Too. And so she kind of looked like shocked that I even, said something back to her. And her mom was like, I'm so sorry. I said, just teach her that everybody is beautiful.
Worthy.
Everybody is beautiful. She was like, I'm
for
so
sure.
Embarrassed, but the thing is, the children get that from their parents or whatever influence they have.
Mm-hmm.
That they get influenced by the older people in their lives. Mm-hmm. That's the only way a child knows what is disgusting or not.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Her mom should be really embarrassed. This is some bad parenting somewhere.
That's the only the reason why they know that is because their parents are at home talking about, oh man, look at me, right. I need to lose this weight, or they're telling their own kids, you better not eat too much of that, or you're gonna get fat.
Right. Yeah.
Like that comes from parental influence and whoever is influencing them in that way.
Kids are paying attention.
TV shows, it could be whatever, but that's who the influence is, and that's what needs to be checked. Like I said, Black don't know nothing about that.
Right.
I don't know nothing about that, because it was my family who was the ones that told me, well, maybe you shouldn't go back for seconds. Oh, Antoinette, maybe you should get a. Didn't you already have a piece of cake? Da, 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 da. You know, like that was what sent me off into the abyss.
Yeah. It's like, how can people not understand this? I had a friend share two things right at the beginning of the pandemic that was very fat phobic, and I let the first one go. And the second one, I was like, I hope nobody on your feed has an eating disorder or disordered eating. And she's like, oh, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, well, think of that shit before you post shit. And you know what? I thought I was going to get a big argument from her, and but I didn't hear much from her that night. And the next morning, she sent me a text message. You know what? You made me think of things in a different light, and you're right. And I'm really sorry. I apologize, and I took it down. I was like, oh, good. That's good, because that was the second one. I go, no, this is the first one. I let it go. Then the pandemic, when it started, people were sharing like the curvy girl pinup model, and then they had another picture of her after she'd gained, whatever. And I let that one go. I was like, oh, okay. And then the second time, I was like, nope, not letting that one go. Sorry. And she's an older lady too. And I'm like, good Lord, you're still dieting all the time when you're like in your almost 70. Give it up.
I was just talking to Tigress about the Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle versus, and I don't know if anyone else peeped that, but Gladys Knight, who is 76 years old, was like, oh, I shouldn't be eating this. I need to. I'm like, you're 76.
Jesus, man.
You're 76, dude. You're 76 years old, and you have went all of these years making fried chicken and candy yams, greens, blah blah blah. Like this is like 76 years old, and you are still worrying about losing weight. And Patti LaBelle swiftly came through and was like, "Girl, we in a pandemic. You better eat."
Thank you. Saucy, when I'm 76.
For Patty, because
and she has those pies. Patty has the pies, right?
Patty got pies, cobblers,
Yes.
everything. She got a few things now, cakes and things.
She's expanded her line. Saucy, when I turn 76, I'm going to start smoking cigarettes with those, like, the cigarette holders. I'll smoke the really long ones. I'm going to eat a cupcake, smoke a cigarette.
I don't know if I'm going to be smoking because that mess hurts. Again,
Yeah.
I have
asthma too. I won't be smoking.
I used to smoke cigars.
Oh yeah.
And there was one time that I was like getting over a cold or something, and I was trying to have a cigar, and I literally hacked up my spirit. And I started smoking again. I have not smoked since it's been like 7 years. It's crazy. I almost coughed up a lung.
I just want to say how much I adore you. And if anybody's listening to this review or interview that matters as far as fashion and influence and things like that, I just want to say I personally have worked with Saucy as a model for my business on numerous occasions. You will not meet any person that works harder, that's super professional, that's on time, that brings all of her stuff, that's just got it all together every single time. And I'm talking, sometimes we had one thing the night before and another thing the early next morning, and she had a long ass drive and she was still there on time. So I don't even know how you did it. And anyway, I just adore you. And what if you could just leave one last thing with somebody that was listening, that was just a consumer kind of person, and maybe they're just still trying to find their love for their own fat body and all it can do for them. Is there any words of wisdom that you would give them? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
no, it's good. I want to always tell people to never be afraid to do what you really want to do. And we have one life.
Yep.
And I feel like you should absolutely do what the hell you want to do in that life. Yep. If you want to wear a little red dress, go find you a little red dress. If you want to, wear a bikini, wear a bikini. Yep. Don't wait. Do it now.
Right.
Do it now. Enjoy it. Bask in it. And right now, I mean, for all of my fatties out there who are 5X, 6X, 7X, 8X above. It's going to happen for us. We are going to get recognized in this industry as needing to be fashionable. It will happen. I'm speaking that into existence. I'm putting that out there. We deserve it.
Yep.
We deserve it.
And
And
we have money too. We like to spend money on clothes,
and
And I mean, yeah. Hopefully it does. Yes, speak it into existence, please, Saucy,
yeah,
because we're not going anywhere.
we're not going nowhere. And again, my goal is to work with these brands and to, you know, hopefully give them insight on how to make their clothing that they already have now for extended sizes, and for them not to be afraid to do it. And for also, I mean, like the 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 company that I'm rooting for the most is Torrid.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Torrid the most because they actually go up to a 6X.
Right.
They actually go up to a 6X, which is great. It's awesome. But I want them to create an experience for the extended size buyer.
Yeah.
They don't have our sizes in store. You have to order them online. Why?
Mhm. Why?
Create the shopping experience for us.
When you can't, I'm like a 6X or on their clothes, like a 5X or 6X, is just trying to navigate their store with my big ass and my big stomach. It's a nightmare. And this says to me, I don't want you here. Right?
Yes. So I have said this several times to Torrid on Twitter. I've sent them
I
messages.
know. Yeah.
Like, I want to work with you. Let me work with you. Let me work in your stores. Let me go into your stores around the country and create a shopping experience for the 5X, 6X buyer.
Right.
You know what I'm
That'd
saying?
be,
It's easy. It's easy to do. But again, that's fashion fat phobia. That's the
yes.
that they have to figure out within themselves on, yeah, we're doing this, but how do we really want to go there? Do we really want to set the standard?
Yeah.
And the thing about marketing is you have to be the first at something or be the best at something.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they can do both.
They
They can
could.
do
Yeah.
both of those stones if they just listen to the consumer.
I remember when you modeled a pair of their jeans and a tank top in the park, and they like used that image and some of their marketing and stuff. I was like, yes, maybe this is happening finally. But
They
that
did.
was like,
But the thing
four,
is, those comments, they're not on there no more. A lot of the comments were deleted.
yeah,
But those comments were insane, and they
yeah,
came from people who were fat.
yeah,
How
yep, it
dare I
happens.
tuck my shirt in?
Right.
Dare I expose my belly?
It doesn't matter if you tuck it in or wear it out. We can still see it. You
I
know?
like my belly.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the way it sits on my upper thigh. I like it.
Right.
It's
It's
the
a great
bottom.
place if your hands are cold. You put your hands in there and it warms your hands
That's
right
where they
up.
are. I put my hands there. You know, when I went,
We,
my daddy put his hands there. It's
my
that,
sweet,
it's a great place to be.
my sweetie and I call it my hot pockets. Hot pockets.
Yeah.
He's like, give me some hot pockets. Like, my hands are cold.
Yes. That is my dream. That is my goal. That's what I want to do. I want to help these brands get better.
Yeah.
Help these brands stop fearing fatness.
Hire Saucy. How do they find you, Saucy, if they want to hire you?
Man, you can send me an email, saucywest@gmail.com. You can go to my website, saucywestplusmodel.com. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Tumblr, wherever. I'm everywhere.
You're pretty easy to find for sure.
I'm
All right.
ready to
We'll put all that stuff in the show notes. And like I said, if you like our show and you want more of this and you want more of Saucy, subscribe. And I'm sure Saucy and I will talk about other things in the future. I want to do some shows about traveling while fat, flying while fat. Oh, that's the same. Going to the doctor while fat, eating out while fat. And one of the things I love to talk about, and I know you have this experience, but nothing like going out with like 5 or 6 fatties all at one time for a meal. Man, it's the most powerful feeling in the world.
So
I love it.
I love every moment of it.
Everybody's staring. I'm like, that's right, we're getting dessert.
They're like, are they gonna all fit in that booth?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, my dear. It was great talking with you. I really appreciate your time and I appreciate you. We'll put all your Patreon or your whatever you have. If people want to give you a little tip for all that you do for us and for all the advocacy, I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon. Thanks, Saucy. Bye. Bye, Blythe.